Hello students, hope you all are fine, enjoying at home. And today, after the vacation, we are going to continue with optics, and in that way we are going to start today refraction of light at spherical surfaces, and then we will see to the what is lens. Before that, let me remind you that we have studied what is refraction, what and the refraction taking place at the plane surface, that is through the glass slab or through the prism. These things we have studied. Now we are going to study about the refraction through a spherical surface. See, this is a medium, denser medium, and this is a rarer medium, and this surface SPS SPS dash, this surface that separates the two medium is not a plane surface but a curved surface. It can be convex curved, it can be concave curved, that doesn't matter. So we are going to do the derivations on the convex one, that's why we are focusing more on this, but this rule is same. So this is the convex curve, and here is the point pole, the center of the spherical surface. And this spherical part, as you can see, the spherical surface is the part of a sphere, and center of that sphere is called center of curvature. Center of that sphere is termed as center of curvature. Okay, and now we are going to see and in fact derive a very important formula that connects the refractive index of this medium, refractive index of this medium, object distance, image distance, and radius of curvature. What will be radius of curvature here? The length of PC. Okay, so before we go to the derivation, let us keep few things in mind. That all distances are measured from the pole. All distances are measured from the pole. Means whether you go this way or this way, all distances are measured from the pole. And the direction of incident ray is taken positive and the reverse direction is taken negative. Now let's come to the derivation of the refraction of at a convex spherical surface. See, this is a convex surface. This is a, suppose imagine this is a denser medium, maybe air or maybe glass or water, whatever you can say. Okay, compared to what? So this is the denser medium, and here this is a point object. This line is called the principal axis, the line passing through the pole and center of curvature. This is the center of curvature. This is the point object. Now, so this light from O has strike the reflecting surface at any point, suppose A, and now this light will not go straight away. Why? Because this refracting surface, because refraction will take place here, and due to this refraction the light will change its path. And as we have assumed that this is a denser medium, so obviously the light will bend towards the normal. So this light will bend towards the normal. Okay, acha. Now how to draw the normal in place of spherical surface? Simple. You just draw the point of incidence, join the point of incidence with the center of curvature. Any line passing through the center of curvature to the mirror will be treated as normal. So this line passing through the center of curvature will be considered as normal. So obviously we can say this is I, angle of incidence, and this is what? R, angle of refraction. Okay. So this incident ray has not got straight, it has bent, and now it is going towards this. Okay. So this is one ray. To draw image we require two rays. So this one ray we are taking straight perpendicular to the surface. This ray will straight go here and hit here. This ray will go and hit this point. So this is what? The second position. So these two rays, one ray, as this is perpendicular to the surface, there will be no bending, no refraction. This will go straight, and these two rays will actually meet at this point. So this point is the point of actual intersection of the refracted rays and hence we will obtain a real image at this point. Okay. So as I told before, all distances are measured from the pole. So this distance PO is the object distance, and it will be minus U because this side incident ray is coming this way. So to the ray, any measurement that is made towards the right will be taken positive, and any measurement that is made towards the left will be taken negative. Okay. Now what happens from P to C? From P to C, so this is the object and this is the image. So this is the object distance PO, that will be minus U. This is the center of radius of curvature R, as you can see here, plus R, and this is the image distance PI, as you can see it is termed as V. Now this, from A we have dropped a perpendicular AM, okay, to the principal axis. Now see, these whatever rays we are considering, these rays are para-axial rays. It means that they are very close to the principal axis, and that is why these 2 points, because this gap is very small and these 2 points are almost the same, we can assume that M and P are almost the coinciding point. So if I do any measurement from M to C or M to I or M to O, that will be equivalent to the measurement I am doing from P. So if I take the measurement from M or from P, that will be same, because this distance is almost negligible, and we are considering here that as the rays are paraxial rays, that is very close to the principal axis, so these 2 points are almost the coinciding points. Okay, this is one thing. Second thing that we are considering, that if this distance is very small, if this distance AM is very small, then it is obvious that these 2 angles will be also very small. So alpha, beta and gamma, these 3 angles will be also very small, and I1, I and R, these angles will be also very small. Okay. Now let us come to the geometry. See, let us first consider this ray, triangle OAC. Triangle OAC. As you can see, in the triangle OAC, angle alpha plus angle R is equal to, gamma, angle alpha plus angle gamma is equal to angle I. Angle alpha plus angle gamma is equal to I. How? Exterior angle of a triangle is equal to sum of opposite interior angles. Okay. So from this very simple relation of basic geometry, we can write I is equal to alpha plus gamma. Similarly, if we apply this to the whole triangle, to the triangle, okay, gamma is equal to R plus beta. Okay, R and beta. If I apply this to this triangle ACI, if I apply this to triangle ACI, this is the exterior angle gamma. So this gamma is equal to R plus beta. So from here we can get the value of R as gamma minus beta. Okay. Now from Snell's law, second law of refraction, sin 1 by sin I by sin R is equal to N2 by N1. N2 is what? Now, what is N1 and what is N2? Let us try to understand. N1 is the medium in which light is traveling towards the surface. Okay. And N2 is the medium in which light is traveling away from the surface. We call it object and image, but sometimes it is misleading. Whenever you will do the sums of virtual object, then it may be confusing. So the medium in which light ray is traveling towards the surface, you can say also where the object is placed, but where object is placed, this statement is not always right, it may be misleading. So the light ray in which the medium in which the light is traveling towards the surface is called the N1, and the medium in which light is traveling away the surface is called N2. Okay, so N1 sin I equal to N2 sin R, and from here, as these two lines are very small, as these two angles I and R are very small, we can take sin I is equal to I and sin R is equal to R, because these angles I and R are very small and measured in radians. As we have studied in maths also, if theta tends to 0, sin theta equal to theta, and also if theta tends to 0, tan alpha equal to alpha. So anyway, so we are considering this as very small angle, and hence sin I is equal to I and sin R is equal to R. So what we are getting? N1 I equal to N2 R, and finally we got N1 R plus gamma equal to N2 gamma minus beta. Okay, so N2, and now let's come to alpha beta. Okay, now what is alpha, what is beta? See from this triangle AMO, tan alpha will be what? H by OM. H by OM. Now OM, and as I told in the beginning, OM and OP are almost the same, so you can say H by minus U. So what is tan alpha? Keep in mind H by minus U. What is tan gamma or tan beta? Let us do tan beta. H by, this distance is MI is equal to PI. So tan beta is H by V and tan gamma is H by R. Okay, once more, tan alpha is H by minus U, tan beta is H by V, and tan gamma is H by R. Okay, H by R, radius of curvature R. So this value, as I told you, is written here, and this value we are going to put here from tan beta, because beta is very small, so beta is equal to tan beta. So in place of beta we are putting the values of tan beta, in place of alpha we are putting the value of tan alpha, and in place of gamma we are putting the value of tan alpha. So finally we are getting this relation, that is the relation of center of, that is the formula for the, this is called the refraction of light taking place at the plane surface. Okay, so what is the final relation? N2 by V minus N1 by U equal to N2 minus N1 by R. Now if you divide this by N1, so what will you get? N2 by N1. Suppose N1 is air. Suppose N1 is air. Okay, N1 is air. Then in that case N2 by will become the absolute refractive index. Then N2 will become N, and N1 is 1, as I told you, because the refractive index of air is what? 1. So this will be give you this relation, N by V minus 1 by U equal to N minus 1 by R. But this relation will be applied only when light is traveling from air to water or air to glass or from air to any other medium. So this you have to be very careful while applying this thing. Acha. Similar relation we can derive for the concave mirror, N2 by V minus N1 by U equal to N2 minus N1 by R. Okay, so similarly as we have done it, you can do it on your own. This was the refraction through a plane surface. Now let's come to the lens. What is lens? So we have studied what is lens, what are the different types of lenses, all this we have studied. Okay, and now convexo lens, concave lens, and all this we have done in the last class. We have studying lens from class 8, again we have studied in class 10. So these are different types of lenses, and what is the basic difference between this? See, convex lens is called converging lens. Why? Because if a rays are parallel to it, then all the parallel rays will converge at a point. So that is why it is called a converging lens. Convex concave lens are called diverging lens because it spreads the rays in different direction. Now see, this figure you can see is of thick lens and this is the thin lens. So as per our syllabus, we have to study only about the thin lens. Thick lens you study in higher classes. Acha. So what is the first topic that we are going to see is optical center. So in thin lens, if a ray is passing through optical center, then it will pass undeviated. So it is the point on the lens through which a ray passes undeviated. A ray passes undeviated, whether it is convex or concave. You can see biconvex, biconcave, in both cases there is no deviation. Okay. Acha, this is the definition of optical center. Similarly, focus. What is focus? Focus is a point, if a ray is passing through it, will emerge parallel. So focus is a point which is called the first focus also. If a ray is passing through it, then the refracted ray will be parallel. Okay, and that is the F2, second focal point, or principal focus. So principal focus is what? It is the point on the principal axis that if the incident rays are parallel, then the refracted rays will converge at a point, and that point is called principal focus. Okay, so that is up to here for today, and the next class we will do the remaining part of the chapter. Okay students, have a nice day.